All right, guys, we're gonna get started. Let's get warm. We can start opening up those shoulders today. And let's begin. We're actually gonna start today seated. Since we're gonna work our lower backs today, we're gonna start down here. So go ahead and just have a seat. Good. And you can just sit however you're comfortable. This is easy pose. If you'd rather be in a different position, legs out straight or something, you can. Just take a moment to find your breath. We often take breathing for granted, and we don't realize how shallow that we're breathing. So take a moment to just feel your inhale and your exhale. Breathe all the way down to your belly. Good, and when you're ready, start to roll your shoulders. And let your breath match this roll here. So inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down. Try to make your inhale match your exhale. So you should feel like you're having to slow down a little bit here, especially on the exhale. Good. Let your chin drop here as you roll. Good. And bring your head up. Take your hands into prayer and just take a deep breath. And just bring your hands forward. Now, nothing deep here, just right into that stretch reflex. So your stretch reflex is that initial feeling of stretching when you first feel it. And it's called the stretch reflex because your body actually senses it as pain, even though you and I both know it's not pain. But our body stops us because it's not sure what we're doing. So we stay in that spot and we breathe through it. So we're just getting to that point, warming up. Inhale, and we're just gonna go to our right or left. Push the opposite hip down again. Stop at the stretch reflex, and then we're just gonna switch. Good, and we're gonna do that again. Inhale up, and just reach forward, gentle with your body. And sit all the way up. Exhale to one side. And then we'll go to the other side. Good, and come back center, set your hands comfortably on your legs. Good, now we're gonna warm up the core a little bit here with this. So I want you to imagine that your rib cage is around your spine. I know it's not actually right, it's attached in the back, but imagine that it's in the center. And I want you to keep a book on your head, and we're just gonna circle the rib cage all the way around. Really take your time here and feel that full circle. So try not to move your whole body, but just the middle. Just let your breath be natural here. Feel that great release in the center. Good, and just begin to slow that movement down and then go the other way. This is actually a great way to reduce stress, especially if you hold stress in your lower back. It's very rhythmic. Good, and bring your knees up. We're gonna roll all the way down. Good, and take your arms out to the side. And we're just gonna go all the way over to one side, but we're not gonna stop. Just bring yourself up and switch sides. Good, inhale as you go down, exhale through the center. And go back to the other side. Yes, just keep repeating that. One more on each side. Good. From here, set your feet on the floor and we'll lift up into a bridge. And inhale down. Exhale up into a bridge. And inhale down. One more up into a bridge. Inhale down. And we're going to go up into a bridge. And this time, walk your hands underneath you if you can. Clasp your hands together and walk your shoulders underneath. Press your fingertips down to the floor as best you can. It's okay if they're off the floor. Relax your jaw. Take a deep breath and see if you can put your belly button all the way to the ceiling. And let that down. Good. From here, grab your knees, take a breath. Exhale and sit yourself up. Put your feet together. Good. Now again, we're just getting warm, so not too hard, but I want you to keep your hips on the floor and just rock side to side here. So our focus today, if you're just joining us, is the lower back and our upper back, our shoulders and our neck. So just releasing that tension there. You guys know every class is different because I have ADD and that is just my life. So, all right. I do have some good news for you before I forget to tell you. We are going to be doing yoga on Friday as well. So you'll come back to this link and I'll see you on Friday. Yes? Yay, I see hands cheering. That makes me feel good. All right, go ahead and crisscross your feet. We're going to go to downward dog. If you don't want to crisscross your feet, watch Courtney. She's going to cross her feet and just flip herself over to downward dog. If you'd rather, you can swing your legs around. Either one. Hands down on the floor. Fingertips are wide. Good. And just kind of pedal your heels here, your legs. Feel that distance between your heels and your hips. Good. Can you roll your shoulders while you're here as well? Yeah, just let all that out. Good. Inhale and step forward with your left leg. And just revolve your lunge here. Good. Now, if you don't feel warm enough to lift that hand, you can also just set it right here on the thigh. If you don't want to lift your back knee, you can also just set your knee down. One more breath. Inhale as you step back to downward dog. Exhale and drive the heels down. Pull the shoulder blades into your back pockets. Open your heart toward the floor. And inhale, step forward with your right leg. Good, drop into the hip and open up. Good, pick the option that works for you. Remember, you don't have to do the same thing on either side. Good, from here, just step in. Good, and go ahead and place your hands on your shins or the tops of your legs. You can even go top of the feet or the floor, but I want you to straighten your back. And then exhale and fold. Good, now if they're not already there, put your hands just above your knees. Lift your gaze, flatten your back here, standing cow. Inhale here, expand your rib cage. Exhale. Inhale again. Now exhale and curl everything to the ceiling. Tuck your chin into your belly button. Good luck. Keep your shoulder blades down away from your ears. Good. Keep that rounded spine and inhale here. Expand the body. And one more breath. Good. Now before we come up, just engage that spine. Good. And come all the way up. Excellent job. Good. We should be feeling a little bit warmer now. Oh, my back feels like there's hope for it. All right. Inhale up. Good. I need you to take your right hand and put it on the other side of your head. Take your left hand and you're just going to set it behind you. Just take a breath and pull your ear to your shoulder. Now, let the weight of your arm do the work rather than pulling. Good. And we're just going to switch sides. So take the other side, put it across, and up and over we go. Good. Inhale up. Exhale. Go ahead and find chair for me. Feet are together and you're sitting back. You want to make sure that your hips go behind your heels, and you want to make sure that your knees do not go past your toes. Now, your knees can be over your toes, but not past your toes. So a good way to check is to look down, and you should be able to see your toes. So if you can't see your toes, it means you're forward like this, and we don't want to do that. Keep all of your weight in your heels. Can you wiggle your toes? Yeah, if you can wiggle your toes, your weight is in your heels. Good. Now, while you're here, bring those hands behind you and open up your collarbone. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Good. Now, pull your belly button into your spine. Good. You can stay here, or if it's comfortable, drop your chin. Good. Now from here, we are just going to melt. So your back is going to get soft. You're going to lay your rib cage down onto your legs. Just melt. Soft fold. Good. Step back with your right leg. Come up to a high lunge. Good. Now, just a little baby back bend. See that there? It's not huge. Good. So I'm just going to inhale, baby back bend, and then I'm going to exhale, come back up, and I'm going to twist toward my front leg. Keep your shoulders over your hips. Good. Bring your hands to the floor. Good. Now, you're going to take your left leg up to three-leg dog. Drive that right heel to the floor. Put your foot down and come forward into a plank. Good. Now, I haven't done this in a while, but just listen to me. You're going to drop like you're going to put your hips down. And then, when you come up, you're actually going to push your shoulder blades past plank. So I'm almost curling my spine, and then come back down. curl back up. Sarah loves these. Yeah, so try to squeeze your shoulder blades. When you get to the top, squeeze them apart. One more. Come back to plank. Lower yourself all the way to the floor. Roll your shoulders back. Take a breath. Exhale. Lift into a bow here. Legs lift, arms lift. Now, just to get a little bit of movement, put your hands by your chest. You're going to inhale up and then back into child's pose. Now, we're not going to stay there long. Inhale forward, exhale back down, and then push out to bow again. Reset, up and back. And forward and down. Inhale, exhale and lift. Reset, up and back. Forward and down. And lift. Good. This time, just come up and go back to a tabletop. Good. Inhale and lift your left arm up to the ceiling. And we're going to take this all the way through. Put your left shoulder on the floor. This is thread the needle. Breathe into that twist. Good, and just slowly come back to tabletop, and we'll inhale, other way, and to the other side, right shoulder to the floor, breathe into your back here. Good, and come to the center. Hands to the floor, tuck your feet, downward dog. Good, step in with your left foot and step halfway in with your right foot. Good, take a breath and try to fold over your front leg. Both heels are on the floor. Hips are reaching for the ceiling. Crown of the head is reaching for your toes. As you step in, inhale, straighten your spine. Spinal extension. On your exhale, drive the ribs past your hips. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, lift your gaze. Take a breath. Come all the way up. Good, take a breath. Good, just find that mountain pose. Lift your sternum into your thumbs. Breathe into your belly. Good, and when you're ready, inhale, we'll go back into chair. Again, find your weight in your heels, wiggle your toes. So there's a difference here, right? We're holding muscles, we're squeezing muscles, but that's different than tension. This should not feel like tension. This should feel like deliberate squeezing, working. We do that to release tension. Good, and then we're gonna take those hands back. Good, now you can clasp them like you did last time. Or if you'd like to try to crisscross, you can. You can also go to reverse prayer, all right? There's not really one that's better than another. It just is different sensations. So you can try something different. Play with that, see what works for you. Good, drop your head if that feels good. Feel that lengthening between your crown of your head and your shoulders. Drive your belly button into your spine. Take a deep breath. Melt with me all the way down. Relax everything that was just squeezing. And we're going to step back with our left leg and come up to high lunge. You're going to take a second and get your balance. And here comes that baby back bend. Inhale, baby back bend. And then exhale into your twist. Good, ribs are right over the hips. Shoulders are right over the ribs. Think about tucking your hips underneath. Tuck your pelvis. Good, and bring your hands to the floor. We're gonna take that right leg up to three-legged dog. Push that left leg to the floor. And bring yourself to plank. So when I'm in this plank position, I'm pushing my shoulder blades down toward my hips. Drop your hips. Now on your exhale, go past that and try to put the middle of your back to the ceiling. Yeah, so you're kind of squeezing your chest together. Inhale and exhale. Big tuck there with the core and up. Good, come back to plank. And lower yourself all the way down. Take a breath and find your bow here. Now, if you're tired this time and you want to just do the upper body, you can. Or you can leave the upper body out of it and just lift the lower body. Draw your belly button up in as you hold this. And now let's start to move. Take the hands back, up and all the way back. Toes together, sit back, child's pose, Now come forward and down. Inhale when you get down here. Exhale and bow. Inhale, reset. Exhale back to child's pose. And forward and down. Inhale when you get there. Exhale to bow. Reset, one more time, up and back. And forward and down. One more bow. And this time we go up to tabletop. Good, so we're gonna thread the needle again. But we're going to do a variation of thread the needle. So take your left leg and extend it behind you. Now cross that leg up as high as you can in your inner thigh and put your ball of your foot on the floor behind you. So my left leg is going over, so it's going to be my left arm that I thread the needle with. So over we go. So your back leg has to stay very active here. Push into the ground. Good, Shepherd. Good. You feel that in your hip. Good, just bring that up. Good, and let's take the right leg behind. Squeeze it tight. Ball of the foot down. Now some people find they can't get their shoulder down. You can just go to your elbow as well. And we'll put the right shoulder down. Back leg is active. Don't let that leg bend. You're pushing into the ground. And come back up. Good job. Tuck your feet. Inhale as you lift and exhale, downward dog. Step forward with your right leg and halfway in with your left. Take a deep breath. Try to drop the rib cage down the front leg. Keep your back foot flat. On your inhale, step in. Big standing extension here. Exhale and fold. Let your hands melt toward the floor. Let your hands melt toward the floor. Good. Take a breath. Lift your gaze and unhinge. Good. Bring the hands to prayer. Lift your heart into your thumbs. Good. All right. We're going to settle our balance into our left leg. If you need to hold on to something, you can. You're going to lift your right leg and cross it over your knee. And you're going to sit into a single leg chair. Notice my heart stays facing the wall in front of me, not the floor. So really chair, draw the belly button in. Now if you absolutely cannot do this, cross and just put your toes on the floor. Notice though that my knee is still opening to 90 degrees. Good. Now listen, from here, we are going to push out into warrior three. Open those arms to airplane. Push your heel to the back of your mat. Point all 5 toes to the mat. Push your shoulders down to your hips. And bring yourself up. Go ahead and set your foot back, not quite as far back as a lunge. Your heel is on the ground. Take your hands behind you. Open the hands, press your hips forward. Open the hands. Open your shoulders. Look up at the ceiling. Good, now from here, I want to reach my back as far down as I can and exhale and fold. Now, you can lift the arms up if you want to. If that's not comfortable, just leave them on your back. Or if you need more support, put your hands on the floor. We're going to do this 2 times. Come all the way up. And now step back even further into a high lunge. So now your back heel is up. Inhale up. Now turn your back foot to the ground. Straighten your legs. Reach back again with your hands. So now your stance is bigger. It should be more intense. Try to put your sternum on your knee. Down we go. Now, if you need more support, this is a deep hamstring lower back stretch. Put your hands on your leg or grab a block. I really want you to stay off of your front knee though. You can use your shin. And then if you want to bring those arms up and over, that's your option as well. Just breathe through those sensations. Just accept what you're feeling. Good. Now, bend your left leg. Lift your gaze. Start dropping into your hips. And we're going to reach out. Good. Extended warrior. Breathe. And come all the way up. Take a breath. And then exhale, open into warrior two. Good. From here, we're going to start by taking your back hand and bring it around behind you. Good. Lift the arm up. Good. Think about dropping that front hamstring. If you need to, walk your toes out a little further. Now just make sure that your knee doesn't go past your toes. Good. Now from here, take the arm that's up and just put it behind your head. Straighten your legs. Now all you're going to do is use the weight of your hand on your back of your head. And all I'm doing is just pulling my head and looking down at my front leg. So you can find a nice shoulder roll there. Good, release that. Inhale up. Good, now from here, I want you to take both of your feet and point them down the right side of your mat. Clasp your hands together up top. Good, now you're gonna curl everything under. Yes, part the shoulder blades, knees can slightly bend. Inhale back up. Good, we're gonna do that one more time. Good, try to put your pelvis into your belly button. And back up. Now keep the back straight and the legs straight. Over we go, wide-legged fold. Walk toward the top of your mat. Good. Now, we're going to do a move some of you may have not done before. We are going to do split leg up dog, okay? So if you know it, you can go to it when I cue that. If not, I'll walk you through it, okay? So we're going to take that left leg up. Good, now come to plank if you've never done this before. Take your left leg and push it out to the side like a kickstand. Keep your body in a plank. Now just drop your hips to the floor. Push your right leg down. Yes, you look like you're in an up dog. if somebody were to look at your right side only. You don't have to go this far. She does. She's a dancer. We don't. Good. Now, remember the thread the needle we did? We're going to thread the needle here to side lying revolve big toe hold. So take your right hand and reach for your left toes. Now, if you can't reach your toes, go for your calf, anything that you can. Roll your body open. Try to get both shoulders to the floor. Good. Now, if your arm is kind of hanging out in space and that's not comfortable, turn your palm down. You can also just set it on your back. Good. Release that and just roll to your belly. Good. Take a breath. Come all the way up. Now, take your knees out wide, maybe even wider than your mat. So almost as wide as you can. Let your big toes come together and sit back. So this is just a wide-legged child's pose. Good. From here, come up, and you're actually just going to bring your legs inward. Now, you can try to put your knees together if you'd like, or if you want them a little bit wider. And I want you to just settle back into child's pose. Feel how this changes the stretch into the back and out of the hips. Both good. Good. From here, come up to tabletop, tuck your feet, and we go to downward dog. And you can walk or jump yourself all the way to the top of your mat. Big breath all the way up. Exhale the hands to prayer. One breath here at the heart. Exhale, get your weight into your right leg. Lift your left leg. Find your single leg chair. Now, it's really normal to be more balanced on one side than another. So just give yourself love, give yourself acceptance. You're doing great. You're doing what 99% of the people in the world right now are not doing. You are not sitting on the couch, so be proud of yourself for that. We're going to go to that warrior 3. So really think about energizing through your leg. Push behind you. Open the arms. Squeeze those shoulders behind you. Try to point all 5 toes to the right side of your mat. Good, and unhinge. Just set your foot back, and you should have your heel on the floor here. Very nice. Roll your shoulders open. Grab the hands behind you. And over we go. Intense side stretch. Keep the arms off or put them on. Do what you need to do. If you do have your arms up, try to give yourself a big shoulder roll here. Feel how that affects that reach. It's going to be really nice in the shoulders. Good. From here, unhinge. And now we take this back leg, step all the way back with it, and come up to a high lunge. Good. Now take that back leg and turn it to the side and straighten your legs. Well done. So now our stance is bigger. If you need to take your stance wider, you can. Grab hold behind you again. Big breath. Over we go. Again, try to reach your sternum to your knee. Reaching far. Add the hands. Keep the hands out. It doesn't matter. Just whatever you feel like you need this time. Doesn't matter what you did on the other side. Good. From here, it's like someone is behind you, pushing on your hips. Drive your hips down and reach out for that extended warrior. Lots of pressure on the front leg. Breathe. And come up. And we go to warrior two. Good. Don't be afraid to move the feet. This should almost feel like a resting pose. Now we're going to take your back hand, wrap it around behind you. Reach out with your front hand. Come on up. Just gently grab the back of your head. Don't look down yet. Good. Straighten your legs. Now you look down. So think about how much distance you can create here from the back of your head down that back shoulder. Good. Release that. Both arms go up, and we're going to turn our feet down the left side of our mat. Inhale up. Clasp your hands. Curl everything in. Exhale. And back up. And again, curl. And back up. Exhale. Wide-legged fold. Good. Walk your feet to the top of your mat. Take your right leg up into three-leg dog. Good. Now we're going to go to that split leg up dog. If you've never done it, bring yourself to a plank first. Then take your right leg and make a kickstand. Wherever that is. It doesn't matter if it's way down here. And then rest that left foot on the floor, or left quad to the floor. Lift with your heart. Try not to be crooked. Try to keep your heart, your shoulders squared to the top of your mat. Big hip flexor release. What do your hip flexors have to do with your lower back? Everything. All right, thread the needle. You're going to take your left hand to your right leg. Do your best. If you can't get to your foot, just try your shin, your calf. This side might feel very different than the other side, so just breathe into where you are right now. And release that. Roll to your belly. And we're going to go up and back. into that wide-legged child's pose. So walk those knees out as wide as you can get, really, really wide. Big toes are towards each other, maybe even touching. And then drop the heart toward the floor, hips going toward your heels. Good, and walk that up. Now bring your knees in. They can come together or stay a little bit apart. And ease yourself back again. Feel how rounded your spine gets here, very nice. You can even put your arms by your side if you'd like to. Good, and bring yourself up. We're gonna go back to downward dog. Walk or jump to the top of your mat. Lift into a standing extension. Exhale and fold. Hopefully you're folding farther now than you were when you started. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, unhinge. Roll your shoulders. Good, take a breath. Bring the hands to prayer. Don't hit the ceiling fan above you. Good, and inhale. Last standing fold, reach as far as you can. Exhale. Inhale, standing extension. Exhale, even further fold. Good, bring yourself down, and we're gonna go to seated. Good, take your legs out straight. Good, now I need you to walk your sit bones toward the back of your mat and push your heels towards the top of your mat. Good, now bring the hands to prayer, lift your heart into your thumbs. Good, a little bit of spiraling here. Inhale up. Now take your left hand to your right leg. That might be your toes, it might just be your knee. Look behind you. Good, you can keep your hand on the floor and push or reach, either one. Inhale up. Right hand to the left. Good, we're gonna do that again. Inhale up and turn. Inhale up and turn. Good. Now we're going to do it again. You have a choice. You can do exactly what we just did, or you're going to reach for your big toe and lift as you turn. Keep it on the floor if you need to. Good. Set that down. Don't just let it go. Inhale up. And we grab the other side. Again, keep it on the floor or lift. Tall posture here. If you're not sure, put your hand right behind you. Check that posture. And come down. Good. Now, take your right leg and bring it across your body. Now, you can hold it like this. You can hold it with a full wrap, clasping the hands. Find your posture here. Keep your sternum pressing toward your shin. Good. This is cradle the baby. Now we're gonna rock the baby. Listen to me, rock the baby is not shake the baby. It's very, very subtle, and you wanna feel the hip, the thigh moving inside the hip. So it's not rocking the boat, okay? So if you need to loosen that up a little bit in order to move that thigh bone, do that, all right? So just breathe, rock the baby. Anybody here need to shave their baby? Good, just cradle that baby, inhale. Good, now, all we're gonna do is set this foot down on the leg and then come all the way back. We'll get to the other side in just a moment. Good, let that lower back release. Good, put your feet next to each other and you can rock back and forth here if you want to. Good, use the heels, push yourself up. Very good. All right, let's go to the other side. Twins. Good, now we're all more flexible hip-wise and things. So if this side is different, it probably is. That is okay. Don't force anything. Find your posture. Good, and then gently begin to rock the baby. Really just sensing the femur, the thigh bone, moving inside that hip joint. Good, and now we're just gonna set it down and come all the way back. Good, bring your knees back up. Good, now just like we started, hands to the floor, and we're gonna exhale to one side and inhale back up, all the way through the center. Exhale to the other side, all the way through the center. One more time each way, exhale, come all the way up. Good, we're gonna go back to the first side, take a deep breath, let it all loose and just stay there. And look in the opposite direction of your knees. Good, slowly make your way to the other side. Again, when you get there, inhale, exhale, let it out. Good, come center. Put your feet together, open your knees, recline bound pose. And this is a super comfortable pose for some people. For others, it's pretty intense. So stay here if you want to. We're just working our way to rest. We're not quite there yet. So you can either be using this as a stretch, right? Releasing the back, the hips, or use it as the beginning of your rest. It's up to you. Just begin to start becoming aware of your breath. And if you know you cannot hold this for another 5 minutes, just go ahead and begin to wiggle and move to that position that's going to work for you. If you'd like to bring your knees together and your feet apart, great for the lower back. Or you can go all the way out into corpse pose. Really practice your self-discipline here by quieting yourself, telling yourself, whatever it is that's going through your mind right now, it can wait for another 5 minutes. Give yourself this time. Breathe all the way to your belly. Spend some time thinking about your lower back. We spend a lot of time there today. Really breathe into your back here. And if you find anywhere else that you're holding tension in your back, your belly, your hips, your glutes, just take some time and breathe there and give yourself permission to release that tension. Allow your jaw to release. And even if there's noise around you, I want you to find the quiet within you. And just welcome that calmness, welcome peace. And you are invited to stay just reclining today if you would like to. If not, go ahead and start feeling your toes wiggle and your fingers. Bring some movement to your breath. When you're ready, roll to one side and join me seated. And bring your hands to prayer. And inhale up. Push the room away. Exhale. While you're down here, take another breath. Roll your shoulders on your inhale. Exhale down. And let's bring it all in. Restarting our day. Inhale. Exhale the heart center. Take another breath here. Let it out like a sigh. And God bless you guys. Namaste. You are done. Have a great Wednesday. I'll be around here for another minute or so if you have a question. And I will be here on Friday. I look forward to seeing you guys. Have a great day. Awesome job today, guys. I hope your backs and your arms and your shoulders feel great. I know mine feel better. Bye, guys.